Hey guys, welcome back, and in the previous episode we bumped into a new girl with tink legs, she's really short and cute. But anyway, let's get back to the action. Before any of us can say a thing, Emmy has already bolted away, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules in Yamako than usual for running in corridors. But that rarely stops Emmy, it seems. Oh, she has a reputation. She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight, composed smile. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off then? Lily heads off along the hallway, and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two uses for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about the business of making lunch. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with the thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting out both their lunchboxes. So, is this what you meant by coming here almost every day? Yes, Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits us both, so we ended up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reaction to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that is a boon. That and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last, after Lily's poured the tea out for us and sits down. Oh, look at her oh, she's so nervous, Pooh. Look at me, being all dashing and handsome. I see you looking at her. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil to Misha and Shizune. Even without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily's soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So, how are you faring in Yamako, Hisao? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and again, and being crash-tackled outside of classroom. Fine, I guess. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? Oh, I'm all sweating like nervous poo. Right, for a brief moment I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. I don't know, I would be too, because they're not really open about theirs. Like, she hasn't even mentioned hers, even though it's kind of obvious. She hasn't said anything about hers, so it would be uncomfortable to talk about your own. Yeah, it's nothing, I was just a bit startled. Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't think that they're buying it, but in what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Oh, she looks shocked. Yeah, see, I just said that and he says it. Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved into the dormitories when she did. If memory serves me right. When she did? You mean when you did? I don't know. That's right, since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm still guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in that as well. I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars. Oh, that just broke my heart slightly, because that's why she likes her, because she's blind, but that's not a... Oh no! No. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. Nom 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 nom. It isn't long before the bells are singing the end of break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I better be off. Are you going to... Oh, I'm going to be alone with her. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? Oh no. Hanako looks up at me, and for a second I can see that she's considering skipping class. Maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me. Oh, she's so... Yes. I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking, if looked at the wrong way. It makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. Oh, my face is lit up. We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane. Hanako are filing out before her. We quickly walk down the empty hallway to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns towards me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lily. Oh, I'm alone with Hanako. I'm alone with Hanako. And with that, we part ways, Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and I to make off to our own. She's looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. And Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the classroom and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in the class and closes the door, he simply nods to us and oh, he understands! That's precious! I'm sorry, I think that's really cool. This is the third time that Hanako has had truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizuna are both missing as well. Oh no. I wonder if this is some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches us is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. Oh, that's a bad way of teaching. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there is still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here filing the time is considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he noticed me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there is nobody else around. Nothing, just thinking about what I'd do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on his pen he's holding and arranges his paper into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune. But the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I considered joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back and avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone, even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He said the same thing as Yuko did. That's true. That really is true. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is through Misha? Or Hanako? It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Huh? Teacher! Oh no. Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with a bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado. Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something is wrong, but has no idea. Has she missed class on accident? Yes? We have talked about the volume control before. Yes. Oh, yes. But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it? We need your help. Running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's hauling around. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more. There was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went out with that. Now there's none left there. So, do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? Shi-chan, I mean, the president thought that the teacher would know if there is plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire presence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Oh, she just hangs off Shizune's word. That's really cute. Like, she's just like, was she wrong? Oh, looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. What should I do? Perhaps try Mr. Noyama. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You have to pry them from his cold dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time. We're so busy. She holds her head with both her hands, looking as desperately as possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There is so much to do, and we are falling behind schedule. Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if you didn't. I wonder if you can get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly, with a hard expression as if saying, go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Chan, you're really nice. She pauses, does a double take and then points at me with a finger, yelping, ah, and looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Hichan doing here? Class is over, you should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hichan? No, I'm not. Is Hichan in trouble, teacher? She doesn't believe me. Oh, she's like got a brain of a child, but in a cute way. No, he's not. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I had to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? Here's a list. I can try find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me a note she's holding. I take it hesitantly a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Ichan. Try to be quick. We're in a store building. We're in the store streak building street bit now. I can't even talk. We must hurry, 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 hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me at the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Don't sound... Please don't sound smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that it's undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit the hallway. Whew, that was eventful, so I'm back with Shizune and Misha doing things with them now. Unless I bump into someone else while getting the list, but anyway, yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye.